And this is another life that hasn't been scheduled. I'll be honest, it's been way too much traveling back and forth. So right now I'm in Hoi An and I'm enjoying it a lot, making the video, gradually editing it up so you can see my perspective and my experience in Hoi An. But when it comes to the live streams, it was a little bit problematic to schedule it. I guess it's just my time management issues. No, I could do it, but I didn't. So this is just a live stream. No specific topic, nothing, just me being in a, what's this place called? Good Eats, Happy Food, Happy Mood Cafe. It's one of the healthy food, so-called healthy food cafes, and I just had, what did I have? Oh, that's the drink menu. Anyways, well, hi, my beloved husband. He's a moderator, by the way, too. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Let's have a chat. Let's just get to know each other. There are usually a lot of new people watching all of my live streams, but there are some familiar ones like Kyla. Hi, Kyla. Howdy, Diana and Chris. How are you all? We are great. We're doing well. I'm still in Hoi An and just took my time to do the live stream. Apologies, I didn't schedule it. I didn't schedule most of my live streams here, but it is what it is. I'll get more into the routine once we're back to Nha Trang. And then when we're in Kuwait, that's pretty much also going to be within the regime. Hi, Liam. Just hopped on, Will says. How are you? I'm good. I'm great. I hope you're doing well too. It's so beautiful. Thank you. It's good lighting as well. If I would sit the other side, it didn't really look that well. Are you okay? Yes, I'm doing well. Please sing for us. I'll think what to sing. You seem disturbed. Should I sing something from Disturbed? Like, I love their version of Sound of Silence. Like very dynamic. It starts like, hello darkness, my old friend. And then goes on and on. Hi dear sister, hi. I hope you're doing well. Hi to everyone, guys. Hi, I'm from Amsterdam. That's cool. I'm in Vietnam, Nha Trang. This place is, I'm in the Vietnam, Hoi An. We've been here for a few days. We visited Da Nang and Hoi An. They're like 30 minutes apart from each other, so it's cool places. And Hoi An is a UNESCO heritage, holds a UNESCO heritage status, the entire town. And yeah, it's great. Really enjoying it. Making the video, making a video vlog for Hoi An, which I hope I'm gonna finish today. So I'm gonna be able to upload it later. Also, getting some tailored made stuff. Both me and my husband. He's getting a suit, and I'm getting quite a fancy dress. This is also part of the video, by the way. I'm Norway, dear. Oh, hi Norway. My husband is Norwegian. Worden har du det? Greeting from Italy. Hi, Alice. Hope all of you are doing well, guys. Thank you for hopping up on the stream. Is that true that redheads feel more pain? I'm not sure. I'm not even a natural redhead. I gotta be honest, so I don't really know. Wild coincidence. I was just singing that song a few hours ago. Oh, that's cool. That's a great song, right? Chris says, my husband says, couldn't recommend Vietnam more. It's amazing and cheap with amazing nature, food, and safe. People are also extremely nice. We pretty much had only a positive experience for entire almost 9 months now. But in the end of this month, it's going to be 9 months since we've been in Vietnam. Most of this time was spent in Nha Trang city, but we decided to have a little trips here and there in the last month just to be able to explore a little bit more. And then we go to Kuwait. I actually bought this, how you call it, like a scarf, like a shawl. So it's very nice. It's I don't think it's natural silk, but it's like a silk-ish. And it's great. You can just put on, cover your shoulders, because in Kuwait there are certain rules. It's not that crazy strict. You basically can dress whatever colors you want, whatever you want, but you gotta cover your shoulders, cover your knees. That is like a major rules. I don't think it's even a governmental laws. It's just cultural rules. So gotta respect. Wherever you go, you gotta respect the rules. And yeah, I already got some outfits, some nice light pants. Whoever doesn't know, Kuwait is in the Middle East, and it is extremely like a scorching heat at this point now. We're actually going there at the hottest, at the end of the hottest months, which is August. I'll make a video for like dressing standards and certain pointers that will have foreigners, tourists to settle in the environment and adapt properly without issues. Once I'm there and I experience, I see that I did everything correctly. Because when I was looking for that video on YouTube, there was just only one girl or two videos I saw about the dress code. So I gotta make one from myself. Hello, it's nice to meet you, Grace says. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, the country. I'm in Vietnam, but I'm from Georgia originally. How fun. Getting fancy is fun. You're going to an event. Well, it is a high chance that we will attend some events in Kuwait. It is entirely a rich country, and our friends are quite well off there, and yeah, we might enter certain circles where we have to look fancy. You always can look fancy just looking elegant. You don't have to wear all those loud brands and having literally a brand written on your forehead. I think the best look is when it looks elegant, attractive but modest, so it's like a good balance between essentially creating a classy look. What color are your eyes, bro? Hazel. They change. Sometimes they're greenish, sometimes they're brownish, so I guess that's a hazel. She's probably tall, 5'2", maybe. I wish, but I'm not. I'm 5'2" feet, which is 161 centimeters. Also, by the way, Vietnam is known for Hoi An, specifically Hoi An city. As I said, it has a UNESCO heritage status. It's extremely beautiful, but it's also known for the tailor-made stuff. You literally have facilities for, where you can order tailor-made suit and dress and clothes, and it's very affordable. I think it's one of the most affordable places to do that, with the high quality, obviously. Chris is always joking. She's like 141 or 161 centimeters, can't remember. And that's my husband saying that. What do you do for a living? Well, my YouTube started getting monetized, so that became a job. Even though lately I haven't been doing specifically a thing what my YouTube is about, but I'm gonna get back to it. So it's about training, it's about boxing, sprinting, you know, talking about important stuff and just creating a community. And I appreciate you guys helping me growing this channel. But anyways, it became monetized, and now it's officially one of the sources of income. But I'm also a personal trainer. I do online personal training for 5 years now, and totally in the fitness and in the training industry I'm for 7 years, 8 years now. Yeah, my shoulders are wider, like, okay, you can judge by yourself. I don't know how you can see me, but I am not tall. This is, I wish I could compare to someone, but yeah, I'm not tall. But my shoulders are for my body. She's a Kafkas. I'm from Georgia, yes. Yeah, I'm partial Caucasian, but I have some Slavic roots. My mom is half Russian, half Ukrainian. What is your tattoo on my shoulder? So it's a dragon, if you can see. It's a woman's face, and it is a bloody katana, because my tattoo master thought it would look cool, and well, that's one of my favorite tattoos, and I really do like it. She looks Irish. A lot of people tell me that, but I'm not. Oh, I'm from southeast Arizona, the San Carlos Apache Reservation, Apache land. Wow, that's the in the like indigenous. That's cool. And Arizona, I know some people from Arizona. Actually, here in Vietnam, where I used to do a karaoke nights, the owners are from Arizona. The husband, his wife, and husband and wife, and husband is original Vietnamese, but they lived in Arizona, and his wife is from Arizona. I know that Arizona is very, very hot. That's what I know. So tell us more about what it is known for. Hi, Turkey. As I said, I already said what I do for a living. She got long arms, but she's almost like the tall. As I said, I showed you. I'm not really. Do you do MMA trainings? I do primarily boxing, and I used to do sprinting, and I'm gonna get back to sprinting once I have an opportunity. And yeah, this is my primarily training. I did some MMA classes. In the past, I did, like, you know, when you're in the community and you just teach each other stuff. So I tried freestyle wrestling. I tried kickboxing, like just the light sparring. So I learned how to do proper leg kicks, like spinning back kick and that kind of stuff. A little bit elbows. I did a little bit of BJJ, like a proper classes for a few months. And then I got injured, and by the time the injury was healed, I kind of moved on with my life and did something else. But boxing was like the main part of my training always, and yeah, that's what I do. Okay, I'm keep scrolling up, guys. What's your next fight? Well, you probably have to ask my first fight, probably within the next few months, because I'm gonna have to figure out. I want to get back to competitive, basically step on the ring, back to the fighting. But I gotta have to figure out whether I do that through amateur boxing first and then pro, or because we travel a lot, gonna get back to, not back to, but just gonna start building a pro record and focus on that. She speaks like 4 languages, 3 languages fluently. Georgian, Russian, English, I speak fluently. I really want to learn Norwegian because my husband is Norwegian, and I like languages, so I would love to learn Spanish and some like big languages that, you know, just helps to communicate with more people. Okay, guys, I'm gonna keep scrolling up because it's been quite a lot. Okay, so I don't want to. So beautiful. Thank you very much. Okay, I appreciate it, guys, and please don't spam. Like, I really suggest to you, like, don't spam. Greetings from Cape Town. Maximum respect to you. That is it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Respect to you too. Yeah, we're like Chris's moderator, so we're gonna put people on who are spamming aggressively on the timeout. Okay, and we also want to the chat to be a respectful and safe place for everyone. So I highly recommend and suggest to just be respectful to each other, and we'll make it work somehow. Hi from Philippines. Hi. Who's your favorite fighter in boxing? Like all time, Mike Tyson. But there are many boxers. Like boxing is it's so great. There are a lot of outstanding boxers. Like so Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, George Fraser. The Manny Pacquiao, one of my favorite ones. And Ukrainian school, I really do like it. Ukrainian boxers, Usyk, Lomachenko, Triple G, Canelo, Alvarez, Terence, Crawford. They're having a boxing match soon. Female, Lila Ali, Clarissa Shields, Katie Taylor, and some others. You know, there are many. There are many boxers I really do like. But like Tyson to me is like a number one. Mike Tyson. Another Mexican boxer, Gervonta Davis, outstanding, crazy boxer in the modern boxing, and I like Isaac Cruz from Mexicans, really do like him, and Prince Nassim was cool, but actually there is Antonio Barrera, the one who actually gave him the only loss in his fight, and it was like the clash of the styles, where there was unpredictable freestyle teasing style of the Prince Hamed, and from the other side it was like a solid classic but very like a good point boxing of Barrera, and yeah, you could see that sometimes flamboyancy doesn't work. There is always a style you can put against another style. I think that you are not ready for your first fight. You don't move a lot. Well, I think I'm not ready yet because I'm still training. I need more stamina, that I can tell you. When it comes to the footwork, well, you can see my videos. I feel quite comfortable on my feet. I would say I feel the most comfortable I ever did, even to but comparing to the back then when I actually did amateur competitive boxing. I'm way better on my feet now, but yeah, gotta get my stamina at a better point. For that, doing a VO2 max training once or twice a week, specifically doing like a 3x3 or 4x4 methods, interval, high intensity recovery, etc. And doing like a few rounds of that. And obviously gonna get back to technical sparrings, but I gotta look if I'm gonna have opportunity in Kuwait. But after a month in Kuwait, on the 25th of September, we get back to Georgia. And in Georgia, obviously, I have all the contacts I need to organize the sparring partners. What's your boxing record? I think in IBA it was like less than 5 fights. I don't have a much big record. I did like less than 2 years of the active boxing national champion of Georgia. Then did some the training camps with the national team. Then went to Dagestan, to Makhachkala on this international competition. But I was too young and they did not allow me to do it officially, so I just did some sparrings there, and I did a lot of open ring fights and open ring sparring. So it's meaning that when gym is hosting one, and you just try to get a lot of experience from there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to get back and actually start building up the record. As I said, the question is amateur first and then professional, or just start doing professional and do it like slowly and in a good pace. Lomachenko is cool, yeah, he's great. What do you think about Adesanya? I mean, like recently he was one of the best fighters. It's like just went a little bit on the downfall after he's lost to Strickland, I think. Like that was very unexpected. Strickland wasn't even supposed to originally fight him. There was someone else and he pulled off and Strickland was put as the substitute and he knocked him out. And then Adesanya, well, did he lose to DDP before or after? I don't remember. Anyway, so he kind of went downfall. I hope he takes his time, recovers mentally, physically, because that happens when you're undefeated for a long time, when you're having a very good streak, and then you lose. It's hard, you know, it's not that easy. But I like him. I like Adesanya. I like Alex Pereira, and I like their rivalry. I think that was one of the best rivalries in the UFC history. Why are Norwegians and Russians crazy strong? Probably you're talking about northern genes, and northerners are always strong. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. Don't want to stay behind the chat. Say something in Norwegian. Hello. Hvordan har du det? I think that was correct. I said like, how are you doing? I'm glad to see you. I'm not sure about if I said that correctly. Who do you got? So I was waiting for the question. 319, Dricus or Hamzat? Guys, even though it's a tricky fight, both has a chance to win, I still lean towards DDP. I just think he's unpredictable style, his adaptability, the way to be able, and determination, obviously. And his stamina. I think his endurance is better than Hamzat's. I've seen Hamzat's recent training, and he's probably been through the crazy camp. But I lean towards Dricus, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Who wins, Terence Crawford or Canelo? I think Terence. There is a high chance that Terence outboxes him, so it might not end with a knockout, but just purely outboxing him. Like if you've seen the Terence Crawford style. One of the rare boxers who can switch, like he's like a shapeshifter. He can switch the stances right in the middle of the combination. So that factor matters. Canelo, from the other hand, is also like in his own way. He's very technical. I think he has a good distance control in his own way, and he's very powerful. Both of his hands are almost equally powerful. Like his jab are as strong as his right. And that matters in certain settings. So if he catches Crawford and basically pressures him and successfully lands those punches, maybe it's going to go towards Canelo. But if Crawford manages what he usually does, which is basically outboxing everyone, like playing the chess, I'm leaning towards Terence. He definitely has money. I wish. Well, I hope this YouTube grows a little bit more. It grows bigger, and because it just started getting monetized. I don't make that much money from it, but it's helping. And even in the beginning, you always you're supposed to use that money to help to grow the channel, to make a better equipment, to invest in to make that channel even better and more appealing. But my husband is very smart. He's a very experienced traveler, and he knows certain countries that can provide a very good lifestyle, very, very good lifestyle for very affordable price. Especially if you have a remote income, if you work remotely, that is perfect. Well, but what about Muhammad Ali? I missed Muhammad Ali, and I'm sorry for that. Muhammad Ali is also Muhammad Ali is one of the boxers who changed the era. Like they kind of developed boxing like in an exponential way. So definitely Muhammad Ali is like a key figure, and yeah, definitely one of the boxers I really do like. MMA Dakota Dicheva. Yeah, I discovered her actually not that long ago. I tried to keep up with the female and mixed martial arts and boxing and all that kind of stuff. She's great. Someone even calls her already a female Joan Jones, and well, she has a very good body parameters. She has a very good reach. She executes it perfectly. She works very good on the longer distance and still remains offensive. All the highlights and fights I've watched. Yeah, she's fun to watch as well, and she seems to be a cool person. So I hope she keeps growing her success. Okay, guys, just keep scrolling up. Hamzat or DDP? My opinion, DDP. Might be wrong. Hamzat also has chances, but there's certain settings. If DDP is good by escaping dangerous situations and essentially winning, rather in the end of the fight or by decision. And Hamzat, I think Hamzat has a bigger chances to knock him out or submit him in the first 2 rounds. If he doesn't do that, I think the Drake is just gonna wear him out. Yeah, Chris says also when you get knocked out once, it affects your brain's function and will be easier to knock out. Many fighters fall out of the knockout defeat. Yeah, that happens. It's tough sport, guys. Very tough sport. DDP is in his best shape, so it comes out. It's going to be epic. Yeah, I mean, I cannot. I'm not going to disagree with that. I think that's completely true. I love that the DDP memes about DDP by plot armor. My favorite one was DDP by throwing a piano, or DDP by drawing the circle and Hamzat falls in it, and DDP by banana peel. No, but it's his fighting style, and from this sport perspective, from the fighting perspective, that is actually very tricky. Everyone who ever did sparring, even just sparring with a fighter or someone who has a very unpredictable style, and they just move in a weird way. That sometimes happens with beginners too. Beginners sometimes move in a very unorthodox way. That's tricky, and that can be very annoying. And especially on the top of it, when you have elite level of stamina, physicality, endurance, power, strength, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I think people highly underestimate DDP, and the guy, he has 2 losses, and none of them happened in UFC. So he's technically undefeated in UFC, and he has 23 wins. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly how many wins he has in UFC, but you gotta give it credit. Same Hamzat. Hamzat is undefeated. That's his first title shot. And he had some issues. It's very important to point out. He had the issues after COVID. He has the major health issues, and specifically with the breathing and cardiovascular, he was coughing out blood or something. I remember him saying that in the interview. And that's what I'm saying, stamina and pressure very often decides the course of the fight. Also, guys, with the fight with Burns, Hamzat versus Burns, you can say that fight showed that Hamzat is not like everyone else. Even Jon Jones doesn't have clearly full domination fights. He had a race fight. It was very close, and it could go to the race direction. They could give him a win if they wanted to. So when they were saying, oh, it's like a big division's boogeyman, Hamzat is definitely a scary, dangerous fighter, but sometimes style against style, the Burns was very, very pressuring. Even though he was getting the damage, he was giving that damage back, and it was quite a close fight. in many ways. So both of them have had their moments, but it also showed certain weaknesses in Hamzat's style as well. Also showed his resilience because he was getting hit a lot. So it also showed that he has a chin and he can get up and adapt. But essentially they both got worn out in the end, and Hamzat won by decision. I don't see that happening with Dricus, honestly. I think Dricus is just gonna, like, he has one of the, if not the best staminas, he has like a very, very solid stamina and pressure, plus on the top having unorthodox style, doing whatever works for him, and using things that whatever works for him in the fight. I think that's going to be even tougher for Hamzat. And I'm not saying for DDP that's going to be easy fight, and I don't mean that, but I think that after certain rounds, like by the end of the third round, if Hamzat is not going to be able to do like a significant damage on DDP, that can give him a chance to either knock him out or, you know, submit him or slow him down, I think DDP is just gonna walk through him endurance-wise. Okay, and keep scrolling up, guys. Sorry, I'm not reading everything, but I appreciate you all being here. Hamzat will make it look easy. People were saying the same thing about Islam and versus Oliveira. First rounds up for Hamzat, where the Dricus is not Oliveira. Their styles are not the same. And as I said, a lot of people underestimate. There are way more people who think that Hamzat wins, and it's okay. It's fine. I'm not saying that's like there is no chances that happens. I said in which scenario I think that happens. But I also think that there is more likely that DDP just outruns him, basically gasses him. We'll see. We'll see. That's basically what day is today. It's gonna couple days. Couple days are left, I think. Okay, and keep scrolling up. Hamzat is having that fire, but you are having the fire in the heart. Is there a way you're working on that? Because I saw Ronda fall as soon as she lost the fighting spirit. Well, Ronda's case is like Ronda was way too overhyped, and yes, she did a lot like to put the new eyes on the UFC, and that's a great contribution. But they were already better fighters before her. It just they were not that hyped. When it comes to the Hamzat is actually a great fighter, and he grinds his way up through, and he has the fight. He's hungry, but so is DDP too. So that's why we're anticipating this fight so much, because both of them have hunger, and they're completely different. But I like this last encounter, like they actually being respectful to each other. Both of them saying that, okay, people want them to like hate each other and like, you know, have a real beef between each other, but there is nothing more than respect. Actually, Hamzat was saying that everyone who dares to step in the ring, everyone who dares to fight with him and just fight in general, gotta only respect. You gotta respect people like that, and that's what real people, real fighters do. Like fighters who actually know how it is, most of them outside of the screen and outside of the media, they just prefer to respect each other, because both have families, both have their dreams, and it's just, you know, who is going to be the best at that night. Chris says, be rude, get booted, guys. DDP is representing as Africans. Yeah, so I have quite a lot of friends from South Africa, actually. It will come to who can adjust the grappling and who has the better stamina tank. Yeah, stamina tank, absolutely. When it comes to grappling, again, with Hamzat versus Burns was a lot of standing, a lot of grappling, but like they were still getting up and doing a lot of striking exchanges. So this is what I see with DDP versus Hamzat as well. I think it's going to be similar-ish. We'll see. I'm very excited for the fight, guys. Again, I'm not a professional or anything. I'm just an enthusiast. I like watching mixed martial arts. Obviously, I like watch boxing, and I'm just trying to share my personal analysis, opinions, like the potential. I never look at fighters as like, how to say that? Oh, that's someone gonna win 100%. Because usually at that level, it doesn't happen that way. You have a certain scenarios that can, if it goes that way, most likely that person wins. If it goes the other way, then most likely the other opponent wins. So it's about trying to think about the potential scenarios and, well, analyze what's going to happen. You train on MMA or Jiu-Jitsu? I actually train boxing. Hi, Istanbul. Hi, hope you're doing well. It's a little bit... Who's your favorite male boxer? All time, as I said, Mike Tyson, but there are many that I like, I absolutely like and absolutely adore. Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, Manny Pacquiao, Alexander Usyk, George Foreman, other Ukrainian boxers. There are very many. Gervonta Davis. I like power puncher boxers. Muhammad Ali was not that much of the power puncher, but he was like started this new wave of the moving on the ring a lot, like lightweight. So yeah, there are many. DDP cannot strike, DDP cannot wrestle, DDP cannot lose. That's a good point. He actually said it himself. I think DDP said it himself that he's not the best grappler, he's not the best striker, but if you put he knows how to put he has this style that it's just efficient in the MMA, specifically UFC rules. It just works. And I don't think he's just being pushing on the pure force. He actually has whatever he does, it has its own reason. It might not look the best, it might not be the prettiest way to do it, but I think the guy is smart, and I think it's a good strategy. Imagine putting something out there that is unorthodox and people don't know how to deal with it. He doesn't use the footwork, he just goes 1, 2, 3, but his shoulder movement and the way he crosses and kind of even uses a little bit of Philly shell in the moments, that's very interesting. So it's very hard to, even if he comes on you without the footwork, just coming 1, 2, 3, 4 from the one corner to another corner of the octagon, the way how he positions his upper body, it's hard to catch him on the counter punch. And even if you catch him on the 1 or 2 punches, he's he has a strong chin as well. He's not easily, you cannot knock him out easily. So, as I said, I think he's a very interesting fighter, very interesting person. I was agreeing with you about DDP, but after seeing DDP scared and how much bigger Hamzat is changed to Hamzat, it was a little bit of the angle of the camera there. Actually, DDP has a longer reach, despite being, I think he's 2 inches shorter than Hamzat, and his arm reach is actually longer. So that's sometimes, and as I said, the way he positions his shoulders, that makes his arms even longer. That's why it's hard to deal with someone that has a long reach and they can use it properly. And Hamzat has very dangerous uppercuts. You've seen his, I think it's he does the left uppercut, cross and uppercut. That because of the DDP style, that might be a dangerous one, because he kind of I have not seen him doing covering it that way or having this hand to prevent it. He's kind of goes like this, and it is a chance that Hamzat catches him on the uppercut. I'm just saying about the potential scenario. But when you say scared, not really. DDP is a little bit, I think he's a little bit weird guy, and you know, some controversies about him, and like he's kind of like on his own. And I didn't see him fearing. I just saw him. They met each other. All I saw is they checked each other's reach. I think they just checked the reach and the distance. But it was pretty much respectful, and I think both sides acted very well. Now, Ronda was legit. She just got overconfident. Ronda was legit in judo. She was brilliant at judo, I would say that. But her striking was not as good as any woman who would have a Muay Thai or kickboxing striking, and that's what happened. Holly Holm, she didn't manage to use her judo and grappling to get her because she got outstriked by Holly Holm and then by Amanda Nunes. So when it's a mixed martial arts, that was a period when in the women's UFC it was just one style dominating. It looked great. And then we started getting more of the female fighters. They're way better, well-rounded, I would say. And it's just like the level just got like, there was a step up in the level. And yeah, she got overconfident as well. Fyodor Emelianenko is the best ever. Yeah, like he's a legend. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. The Klitschko brothers, absolutely beasts. Yeah, Klitschko brothers are. I forget to mention them usually, but I think Usyk was saying. I saw the Usyk's video. He was saying that the question was, which boxer you think are better than you? He actually said about some of the boxers being better than, like Tyson Fury and Joshua being better than him, actually. And he said, who he said about Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko, he said about one of those that he just passed, and another he said, like, yeah, it's better boxer. I haven't seen their fights for a very long time. I haven't rewatched the Klitschko brothers for a long time, actually. I really want DDP to win. He's a very nice guy and tough as nails, but Hamzat is like a python. He smothers like opponents. No, he really does that. I mean, and Hamzat doesn't seem to be a bad guy too. Yes, he had some like moments. He's been like, you know, yelling, screaming, "I'll smash everyone!" But he also, like, you know, he fights for money and for his family. That's what he does, and same, I agree with DDP. I think he's a nice guy and tough as nails, as you said. We'll see how it goes. But as I said, DDP has this, and so far he's proving that he has a very good ability of escaping dangerous situations. The fight that he was technically supposed to lose, everyone's saying, oh, he was supposed to lose to Sani, to Strickland, to, you know, like this and that, and well, essentially he's not losing. What Chris saying, Usyk is one of the all-time best, in my opinion. Also seems like a great guy, an amazing ambassador for the sport. Yeah, I think like Usyk is the champion we needed. Just humble, just doing his stuff and being funny, being you know, not being afraid, being goofy and, you know, dancing and just being a nice and good guy. You know, like I really do like him. A family man. You know, no major controversies I ever heard about him. I think he's being a good people's champion. My body is from Kazakhstan, and the Russian fighter, he says, will win. Well, it doesn't happen exactly that way. But Russia has this very tough fighters. Like, we can't deny that. DDP scared, LOL. He's a 5-time cross-promotional champ. No reason to be scared at all. I mean, I didn't see him being scared. I don't know. Like, it makes me a little bit laugh when people say at that level and they say, oh, they're scared. Yes, there may be some fighters that are like kind of avoiding. Like to me, for example, Hoi An feels like a duck because he was like, after the chance, he had a rematch with Islam Makhachev and pulls out because of the back. That didn't really look really good. And yeah, there are some controversies that people, like they rather pull out or they avoid fights. But this fight is happening. DDP, Hamzat, that is happening. DDP is not the one who pulls out, so saying that he's scared is a little bit funny. We'll see that we'll see how the fight goes though. We're on the Olympic judo, but zero striking. I think, yeah, that was the period of, that was the stage of the women mixed martial arts when UFC, at least specifically, where it's just one style dominating, and then women's UFC also evolved and it got better. I'm from Georgia, the country. If you know Merab Dvalishvili, Ilya Topuria, since we're talking about UFC, Giga Chikadze, he's actually on UFC, Roman Dolidze, the Georgian guy who lost recently. Yeah, those are same country. I'll subscribe. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Which country are you from? As I said, I'm from Georgia. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. Thank you very much. I hope all the good is at your side, guys, as well. Where do you all plan to watching the fight? Well, we'll see. Oh, have you heard that the Dana White signed with the contract, the new contract, that it's not going to be pay-per-view anymore. It's going to be way cheaper and way affordable. So it's like $1 billion contract. Potentially, the fighter's going to get the raises for the fights, and we're also going to be able to watch fights yearly, way cheaper than you have to pay for pay-per-view. So I think that's a good news. You look fab. What's the topic? Just chilling in the coffee shop in Vietnam, Hoi An, but essentially ended up talking about upcoming Dricus du Plessis versus Hamzat Chimaev fight. And some people ask about Terence, Crawford, the Canelo. Yeah, just discussing stuff like that. But you'll feel free to ask whatever and engage in the chat. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. Do you think Georgian wrestling is superior to Dagestani wrestling? It's hard to say that way because we are literal neighbors. So it's not the border and maybe religion difference. It's the same region, pretty much same genetics in many ways. And yeah, I think it's. Well, when it comes to judo, for example, judo is one of the top teams. Last Olympics, the Georgian team beat the Japanese team in the group matchup. Like Japan is the best in the judo, right? So when it comes to judo, I think Georgians are one of the best at this point and getting better and better. We have both male and female Olympic champions, Olympic second, third places, like world champions, people like Eterli Parteliani, Varlamle Parteliani, and many others. I'm not really watching judo that much, but I like to watch highlights, and I like to follow, get myself updated on their success. So judo is definitely Georgia, and judo is from the standing position throwing. Greco-Roman and freestyle wrestling, there are some strong Georgians in that style as well. And well, MMA also now in the recent years, you can see that a lot of Georgian MMA fighters are coming up. There's actually another Levan Chokheli who is a Bellator champion. He's, I think he already signed up the UFC contract. So that guy you're gonna see in a bit, and that's gonna be interesting. I know him personally. We trained in the same gym, and yeah. So the question, whose wrestling is better? It's hard to say. Really hard to say. Georgians are very, like, wrestling is one of the most common sports, same as in Dagestan. Kutateladze trains with Hamzat. He's from Georgia. Yeah, I know Kutateladze. I have him on my Facebook. So it's such a small community. I actually know some of the fighters. Some of them I just have, on Instagram, on Facebook. With Guram, it's a little bit sad. Sometimes your career doesn't go exactly well. And there are certain, sometimes it's skill set, sometimes it's training style, and essentially time flies, time goes, and some people just don't get there. But the good thing about Georgia is that Georgians stick with Georgians, and Guram is close with Merab, close with Tapurias and Hamzat, so they're still in that circle. They're still training there. They're being an important part of the preparation for other athletes as well, and that's great. I think this is, it's about community. You gotta have like winning or losing. You gotta have a strong community. And by the way, Arman Tarakian is born in Georgia. That's right. He's born in Achal Tziche. I think that's a city called Achal Tziche in Georgia. And but he's Armenian originally. He lived in Russia, and so it's he's familiar with all of the three cultures. Dana is a greedy man, horrible dude. Like or dislike, but UFC is there. It's one of the most known MMA organization, and it just, even business-wise, like, even if he's a horrible man, if he signs up such a big contract that brings a lot of money, he has to raise the payments for the fighters, and he has to make sure that others benefit from it too. Otherwise, people just not gonna want to stick to the organization anymore. So I think he's smart enough to understand that yes, it's his company, but he has to make sure that everyone else feels appreciated. The key parts and key members of the organization, such as fighters and champions. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. That's why I think it's good news. Who do you think would win, Demetrius Johnson or Merab Belashvili in 145? Oh, that's a tricky one. Demetrius Johnson is a legend. I really do love and respect Mighty Mouse. I think he's an amazing guy, and obviously I love Merab. He's Georgian. He has one of the best stamina maybe out there in UFC, of the history of the UFC. And that might sound cliche. I always go that, guys, like, stamina matters. No matter how good your technique is, no matter how good of IQ is, whatever, if you do something to your opponent, they have great, crazy stamina, crazy chin, nothing works on them, you get tired, and they just, splash you with relatively boring style, it works, So I don't know, but Demetrius Johnson at his prime, he's been great. He's been great in all of the aspects. I think his stamina was good. His IQ, the fighting IQ, is one of the best in the UFC and mixed martial art world, I guess. And now he's the one championship, and I think he got his the belt back. So I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. Are you German? No, I'm Georgian. Terence is going to knock out Canelo out. If he doesn't knock him out, I think he's outbox him. And even if he knocks him out, that's going to be the result of him outboxing him. I think the Terence is way more. He's a very fluent boxer and with a very high IQ. So that's what I think. Not sure about knockout exactly. That can happen, but I definitely think that he's gonna outbox him. She's a boxer and knows a lot about MMA and fighting in general. It's like I'm just watching stuff and I just try to understand and analyze things, and I did some of it myself and I trained with some of these people myself, and yeah, that's the way it is. Georgia has been very successful in wrestling from what I remember. As I said, judo even more than wrestling, but wrestling is also one of the successful sports in Georgia. The question is, can you shadow boss in a cafe? Do you dare me? Of course I can. I'm actually gonna take off my shoes. Okay. I think that was good enough. Okay, put my hair back. Back to the girl mode. Okay, keep scrolling up. Crawford will embarrass Canelo. Yeah, it's a little bit mean way to say it, but whatever happens between Mayweather and Canelo, something similar-ish. When just like when you cannot do anything against a certain style, that's what I think might happen. I love Canelo though. I think he's a great boxer. Respectfully, how do I pull a baddie? Don't look for a baddie. Look for a good woman. Good, loyal, has her interests, cares about people around her. Just don't look for baddies. You're married? Yes, I am, and he's my husband is in the chat. Lavar says high IQ and has faced much better competition than Crawford, such as Bivol, Golovkin, Cotto, etc. Well, all of those guys are great, but saying that they're like ahead of Crawford. Crawford is great. Crawford is very multi. How you say that? There's boxers who move like back and forth, for example, like a Soviet style, or just like offense defense style. That's what I see Canelo doing a lot. You know, he catches on you on his cross quite well. He's very, very powerful and explosive when he does that. He can fight in a closer distance. You know, he's doing very efficiently. He can switch the distances. But Crawford, to me, is just, when it comes to the boxing, he's moving like a certain angles. He's switching the stance right in the middle of stepping backwards. So when instead of like when the classic boxer would just keep the same stance, he switches immediately. He's on the jab, and I just and we seen Canelo. Yes, he was younger and he was less experienced when he fought Mayweather, but there might be a case just a style against the style, and I think Canelo's. That's the hardest style for him, when there's a lot of offense and defense at the same time from multi-dimensionally. Okay, I'll keep scrolling up, guys. Becky Lynch, of course, someone had to say that. Everyone on every stream says that I look like a Becky Lynch. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate all the positives, guys. Anyways, it's a little bit hot here. You look nice. What do you do in your life? Well, I'm doing YouTube now, which started getting monetized recently, and also do personal trainings online. and consulting on health, diet, all that kind of stuff, but also doing personal training. So that's my primary income source at this point. The Canelo that fought Golovkin beats up Mayweather easily. Well, if he catches him, yes, but if not, not really. Like Mayweather was not having wasn't known for the strongest chin. He was just known for the ability and his defensive style to being able to sleep through a lot of those heavy punches. So, which country are you from? I'm from Georgia, the country. No, I'm not Israeli. I'm Georgian. Eddie Jones, she did a live on holding breath underwater. Her new personal best was a few days ago, like a couple days ago. 2 minutes and 40, no, it was 43 or 44 seconds, the baby. As my husband saying that it was 2:46, but it was 2:43, 44. Next time, I'll try to get to 3 minutes holding the breath under the water. Yeah, respire, no, I never. See you soon. Okay. But anyways, guys, yeah. Well, always, every live stream I start, even if it's a certain topic, always goes back to an upcoming UFC fight and boxing. So it's good, it's all good. But also traveling a lot. Me and my husband, we travel quite a lot this year. So we're being in Vietnam so far. Now we're in Hoi An city. If you look it up, this is a very beautiful city in Vietnam. It has a UNESCO heritage status, and yeah, one of the best and cheapest tailoring service. And then we go back to Nha Trang, then we go to Ho Chi Minh, Saigon, then we fly to Kuwait, to the Kuwait city. So yeah, doing quite a lot of traveling in the meantime, trying to combine it with training, with, you know, having everything all set, like diet and sleep, you know, and manage the YouTube. It's pretty much quite a lot of things come together. Chris says, not Russian, she's Georgian. Yes, that's right, I'm the Georgian. Sakartvelo, Kamarjoba, Genatsvalet, Dagi Marchut. I'm going to Georgia next month. That's good. Yeah, I think you'll like it. Tell us what you think about fighters on PEDs. Well, it's definitely cheating, but it's such a gray area. Like, you have a test, even UFC, which has like a relatively stricter doping test. Okay, you have the test, but you have a period before it. You can do a cycle in, cycle out, and as long as you're not caught, you're there. So it is very hard to control it. Yeah, and there were cases when they tried to, in UFC specifically, they tried to hide it and quiet it down. I think it was in the Jones case once, even though we know about the Jones situation, but I think was it the Jones case or something else? Or it was Vitor. I don't remember exactly, but it was one of the famous fighters. And yeah, it is, as much as I, like everyone else, I think it's cheating, but it's there, people do that, and you know, it's their ways how to do it and not get caught. And that's bad. That's the reality, and I don't have exact answer how to solve this issue. Very strong lungs you have. I don't know, I think my training was sprinting, and then started doing VO2 max, actually getting some results. So I can quite comfortably hold it for 2 minutes and 43 seconds. And obviously, if I train a little bit more, I can get to 3 minutes, which will be awesome. But yeah, it's a matter of training, guys. What about Georgian Hulk, aka Levan Sanginashvili? I met him personally when in 2018, 2019. I used to work in Champions Academy. That's like a famous gym in Tbilisi, Georgia, and it's hosts a lot of athletes because that gym is specialized, like American-style gym with different floors, and a lot of athletes would come there. They have like an octagon on the fourth floor and MMA groups, pro and amateurs. So I've seen Levan Sanginashvili coming and doing some training for arm wrestling specifically, and he was very polite, very gentle guy, like very, very sweet. So that's how I remember Levan Sanginashvili. You look gorgeous, thank you very much. Where are you from, Redhead? I'm from Georgia. Sakartvelo. Okay. Do you think Shara Bolt can beat Hamza, or Hamza will beat Shara Bolt? It's a very tough competition. Are you talking about Shara the Magomedov, or that's someone else? I don't really doesn't recall in my mind the name. So we're talking about the Pirates. I think he was a little bit overhyped, and he actually, I mean, he's it's a tough competition for him in the like elite of UFC. What do you do? Right now I'm live streaming and I'm talking to you guys. And you arm wrestle? No, I did it a little bit in school, but nothing. Arm wrestling is not one of my favorite sports. Let's put it that way. Though a lot of Georgians are quite good at arm wrestling, and good for them. So yeah, I met Levan Sanginashvili. I met and I know him on Facebook friends. I think Gennady Kvikvinia. There's some female arm wrestlers too. There's some para arm wrestling. So arm wrestling is quite big in Georgia in its own way. But I never had dealt with that community way too much. Hamzat Chimaev versus Dricus Duplessis. Who are you betting on? I'm not betting on anyone, though I lean towards Dricus, and I said it already quite a few times that I think he's just gonna survive all the attacks essentially for the first 2 rounds from Hamzat. He's gonna survive it, and then he's gonna just tire him, rather win by decision, or just submit or knock him out in the end of the fight. That's how I see it. But it doesn't mean that if from the other hand, if Hamzat manages to finish the fight, or at least put a big damage that slows down Dricus within the first 2 rounds, I think Hamzat has good chances to win. It depends how it goes, though. Do you have the plan for vacation for the summer? I mean, entire 9 months being like a vacation. Yeah, we've been living here, but it feels like vacation, and we travel a lot. Have you been in Germany? No, I actually haven't been that much in Europe at all. And at some point, absolutely, would love to have a whole trip. Well, my husband says that we gonna get some van or something and just travel around Europe like he did once. Before we met. So yeah, looking forward to that at some point. But right now, the plan is we're here by the end till the end of August. Then we go to Kuwait, stay there till the end of September, and then go to Georgia and figure out some stuff. If everything works well, maybe we go to US for some time. And after that, no particular plans. What about slapping competitions? That is like, I don't like it. I think it's even worse than bare knuckle fights. in the bare knuckle, at least you can move, at least you can do something. It's literally signing up for a potential brain damage, like for nothing. So no, thank you. Hi Matt, hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I'm rooting for Dricus du Plessis, but on paper I see Chimaev winning. To me, I like both. If we're talking about rooting, the only thing I would love Dricus to win, to like prove those fanboys that like I think Dricus is highly underestimated. Like at that level, treating a champion, an actual champion, like a shit, and hyping up another fighter, which is like Hamzat is great, but don't get me wrong, like that annoys me a little bit. So that was like the feeling I was getting. Oh, like I actually wish that Dricus wins, but I will be like, to me, I really looking forward to watch that fight and just enjoy the fight and see which scenarios that I had in my head would work. This is what would be cool, or maybe none of them works and there's completely something unexpected, like I don't know, few seconds knockout from either one of those. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. I actually see Dricus winning if it goes the way I said. If he's very good at surviving all the heavy attacks, first 2 rounds, adapting, and then putting the pressure and basically on the cost of his better stamina, like rather winning by decision or finishing the fight in the end. That's how I see it, like the most predictable scenario to me. From the other hand, another is if it doesn't go that way and first 2 rounds the DDP gets damaged, or damage, like certain damages that just basically slow you down and change your game totally, which Hamzat can do it. He's a very hard puncher and he's like very dangerous. Then he can pull that win. But if it doesn't happen in the first 2 rounds, I see DDP winning. Will Hamzat knock out DDP? What do you think? Well, I'm concerned about his uppercuts. So Hamzat's uppercuts are like powerful, and DDP style, the way he comes on you, he moves his shoulders in an interesting way. He increases his reach, but he's also open. Like if you've seen, he's been doing kind of like having his chin up slightly up, not all the time, but at times, and that is like a perfect target for the uppercut. And maybe that is Hamzat's team's plan. Maybe they already build it up around that, so they're gonna work, gonna do grab, and then whenever he has a chance, he's gonna get through the uppercut. Maybe, potentially. But also DDP is tough as nails. Someone said in the chat, and he has strong chin. He might survive that one too. You know, not all clean punches result into a knockout. But if that happens as a knockout, I kind of see that uppercut sneaking in, you know? Maybe not uppercut, that could be a cross uppercut, you know, like just a combination. But yeah, I hope my answer satisfied you. When did an arm wrestling become a serious sport? I don't know. I can't tell you about that. I don't even know the history of the sport. Okay, keep scrolling up. I'm vacationing variously through your channel, Kyla says. Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. That's actually a good way for learning what's going on in the different parts of the world. I mean, we would never meet if not those live streams, and you would not see a certain part of the Vietnam. Not like I'm showing it right now, but I make some vlogging videos to show you more about the places I'm traveling. So it's cool. I also sometimes meet live streams, even though I don't spend that much time apart from live streaming myself. I don't really see that much time watching other people's live streams. Sometimes I stop by and there's like some Chinese festival, and there's like, I don't know, some just people walking on the Malibu street. Like, it's cool, you know? It's cool that when you have the ability to do that from wherever in the world. Will DDP be able to defeat his belt this time? What do you think? I think there is, like, as I said, I'm leaning more towards DDP, but it's not 100% like DDP is gonna win. I think Hamzat has the chances in certain scenarios, as I said, first 2 rounds. Certain, if he leaves that damage, there's certain things that if it goes that way, Hamzat can win, but I still lean towards DDP, and we'll see how it goes. On cricket, dude, I don't know much about cricket, guys, and that's the funny thing. Like, cricket is the biggest sport. That's one thing I know about cricket. Cricket is the biggest sport in the world. But in the West, we don't really watch it. Because the biggest population is China and India. It's very popular there. So it kind of makes sense. I think the high, correct me if I'm wrong, but the biggest cricket star has way more followers than, I don't know, like Cristiano Ronaldo, and like the biggest followers of the Western sports performer, like something like that. Don't spam, please. Ask once or twice, so no need to spam. Exactly. Well, DDP does that when he moves forward, but the backwards he has strong defense. Yeah, that's a fair point. But yeah, that's what I meant when he comes forward, kind of thing. And you know, as a boxer, you would do like boom, boom, like you would do defensive style. But as I said, that's not 100%. And there are certain things that it just like doesn't work. Like Merab, for example, has a style that you can catch him on, like, you know, punch him in the face, but just the combination of his stamina and his strong chin and like he's being completely like very athletic and strong and actually evolving with technique in many ways especially throughout his last fights. You know, just hard to do something, you know. Yes, in the paper you might have a plan, your team might have a plan, but at the end of the day, it's all about the execution of that plan. If you cannot execute it for whatever reason, it's just, that means that it didn't work. It's easy to watch it and say, oh, I would do this. But in reality, you probably wouldn't. Excuse me, can I have one more coconut, please? Yeah, thank you. Okay, well, keep scrolling up. From where did you buy your dress? Well, right now I don't have a dress, but it's a tailor-made now, and I think we're gonna be able to pick it up soon. Literally, it takes like one day or a few hours for them to make that a suit and a dress. So we're gonna pick it up, and I'm making a vlog video for Hoi An. So I'm gonna show that dress and the process of measuring and choosing the dress. So quite excited to record that last part and finish that video and upload it so you can see. What's your height? I'm 5'2" or 161 centimeters. I'm quite short. In the fighting, in the boxing, I would go flyweight, like 50, 51 kgs. Right now, I'm like 54. It's UFC. You can't predict who wins. Yeah, I agree. You cannot say 100% who wins. You can just draw the scenarios. Like, the more fights you watch, the more experience you have in it, you're kind of like, there are certain patterns, and they're repetitive. And you can just build your opinion and your perception on analyzing those behaviors. But it's still, as people say, UFC math does not add up sometimes, and sometimes it's just completely different. But that's what makes it exciting. Who's your favorite boxing right now? Alexander Usyk and Gervonta Davis. Yeah, those two I would say, like, style-wise. But Usyk and Manny Pacquiao. He just had a fight recently against Mario Barrios, so he's technically an active boxer. So I would say Manny Pacquiao is one of my favorite all-time boxers, but also current ones. The fight is predictable though. If you're not going for Hamzat, you're losing. Second round knockout screenshot. This and watch. I'm right. I mean, guys, if Hamzat wins, and especially with the knockout in the first 2 rounds, well, I actually said myself that if he wins that way. I don't see him winning in the later rounds, but you can burn me, okay? There is nothing wrong with that. I'm just sharing my opinion, my perspective on it, and I said it's not going to be that easy, neither for Hamzat and neither for DDP. I don't think that's going to be easy fight. If Chris says, my husband says, if Hamzat gets DDP to the ground, it will be hard, but if it's standing, DDP has the edge. Very hard to say exactly who takes this one. Going to be amazing fight, I think. Yeah, fair enough. And as I said, with the Matt Burns, the Hamzat versus Hamzat, everyone's saying, oh, Hamzat's gonna eat him alive, but he didn't. He won it by decision, but that fight was, yeah, there was takedowns, but then it was like the mat was coming up, and there was a lot of striking exchanges. I see it's pretty much similar. I don't think it's gonna be like full and Matt Burns is even smaller. Like, he is significantly smaller than Hamzat. So I think the DDP is gonna be even harder to do than Matt Burns for Hamzat. But also we're gonna have to consider that Hamzat is a better shape probably, and very well prepared, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's see. We got 2 undefeated fighters with unique styles. It's impossible to predict this fight, in my opinion. Yes, I agree with my husband. I mean, I think it's a fair point. It's also a matter of showing respect, you know, for the fans. Just being like, you know, mean and joking like this and disrespecting one or another fighter, it's so easy. Funny enough, you wouldn't be able to do that to their faces, right? To me, I understand, like, I MMA fight, but I did boxing fight. I felt the pressure. It doesn't feel fun. It can be extremely difficult. You gotta respect that. So to me, I don't go for someone, oh, he's gonna smash someone, or he's gonna like do this and that. To me, it's about, okay, let's analyze their strengths and weaknesses. Let's think about how it could go, and, like, you know, what are the key aspects, and enjoy the fight. What do you think about Beagle's boxing style? I think one of the most featured aspect of his boxing is Soviet footwork, but like a little bit on another level. So it's not like a classic Soviet footwork. It's way more advanced and way more, how to say that? Like, he can move like that for entire 12 rounds and not get tired. So that is quite impressive. DDP was already losing to Sean, but he didn't. He won both. Second one, he actually broke his nose, and that's the point. There are some fights that DDP was supposed to lose, but he didn't, because he's a rough cookie. And that says a lot, you know. Like, when there was someone trying to say it was about Ilya Topuria, and someone said, oh, whoever says this guy has a strong chin, have you seen his fight with Herbert? That was his first lightweight fight in the UFC, and you see, like, he dropped him, and people were like, dude, if you get a head kick, you drop, and you manage to get the leg, do the takedown, and then the second round knock the guy out, you have a strong chin, because after that kind of stuff, you don't get up. Same with DDP. Like, when whoever says, oh, he was supposed to lose, he didn't, because he escaped the dangerous situation. That is one of the key aspects of making you a good, resilient, strong fighter. So sometimes, yeah, some of the things that some fans say doesn't really make sense to me. I admire the no makeup and looks wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Chris says, what I'm saying is two very different styles and they both have the edge in different things, so very hard to predict. I'm not saying either can win from a neutral perspective. Well, yeah, that's the Chris positions. I said that I lean towards DDP, but I also don't say it's 100%. I already said in which scenarios Hamzat most likely can win, and in which scenarios DDP I think most likely gonna win. That's what we've been talking about. What's up, Red? When you're fighting, I hope within the next few months. Right now, I'm just training. Well, the last few days I've just been traveling. The only training I did was a lot of walking, but working on my stamina, footwork, power. So a lot of things are already on point. When I'm back to Georgia, I'm gonna start getting back into technical sparring and figuring out what I can do. First fight where I can do that, rather the amateur competition or a professional fight. We'll see. I'll update you and I'll keep posted on that, guys. I think makeup is not a little bit. I think like here is, you see, a brown pencil and a little bit on the lips, and that's it. I don't use anything on skin. Well, I have a pimple, so I covered it up with the how you call that? The corrector, and that's it. Both DDP losses were outside of the UFC, by the way. Yes, it was earlier parts of his career. I love your shirt. Thank you. Mike Tyson uses his elbow to defend opponents. Do you agree? I don't remember that doing. He's doing peekaboo style, and yeah, he doesn't do like. Yeah, sometimes he does the straight punches, but a lot of hooks. I don't know. That's if that is what you meant. Will you stream your fights or sparring live on this channel? I'll do my best to stream it. If I don't stream it, I'll upload it, so you're gonna be able to watch it. So yeah, no, but I'm absolutely gonna share it to you and gonna let you watch the whole thing, because my point is I want to show you the progress from someone who didn't compete for a long time, how to get back to it, and what's the journey, and you know, all of those things. So I'll do that. Those who want to do whatever one else did together will simply look, listen, and learn. Well, listening, learning is a skill. Have you ever heard about cricket? Yeah, I heard about that. It's like the biggest sport, most watched sport in the world. But in the West, I don't think we watch it that much. Yeah, spying is not polite, guys. Can you stand up for a second? You're so blind, would have loved to see the whole package. I apologize, but I'm not going to stand up now at this point. I'm actually going to wrap up the stream because I have to go in a bit and get the dress and the suit. But I'm gonna try to live stream later today or tomorrow. Do you train jiu-jitsu or BJJ? I trained a little bit of BJJ. Not blunt, I meant to say beautiful. That's okay, I appreciate it. I'm just sitting quite comfortably right now. But anyways, guys, I gotta go. My phone's gonna die any second right now as well, so it's gonna turn off by itself anyways. So I just prefer to say bye to you, and I hope you're doing well. Wish you the best day and best night, and yeah, I see you next time. Bye bye.